Hello everyone, I'm Shraddha Chandavarkar. I'm going to introduce you to the team that I'm going to work with who are presenting their work. That is 4 people in the group, including me. Starts from Rishita, roll number 70. Me, Shraddha Chandavarkar, roll number 7. Ananya, roll number 71. Me, Shraddha Chandavarkar, 73. And Shreya Saxena, 74. We are here with topics that we're going to present you today in Excel. That is introduction to document properties, inserting hyperlink and sharing a workbook, track changes and accept and reject changes, and mark as final. So these are the topics that we are going to cover. The topic that I am going to cover is document properties. Document properties are also known as metadata and are details about a file that describes or identify it. They include details such as title, author name, subject, and keywords that identify the document's properties or contents. So let me show you how it works. First, we're supposed to go to File. Here you have Info. Go to the Info. And here is your document properties. How does document properties help you is, this basically helps you organize your data on the basis of, you can see the properties, that is size, title, you can add a title, this is for example, marks of skill development CIA, you can give tags, categories. Why you give all of this is to identify the file when it is needed, and it also keeps your things organized. It also tells the related dates, that is last modified, created, last printed if you have, and it also tells last modified which author has done it. Let's go to show all. It also helps you to directly go to the file location, and you can manage. So you can keep a manager saying it's me. I can write my mail ID here. And now it says that I am the manager of the file. You can put your mail ID, or with your Windows account you can authorize yourself. So this is all about document properties. And yes, thank you so much.
So the topics that I'm going to be covering are on how you can insert hyperlinks into your data and how you can share your data, that is share your sheet or workbook with others to help them edit and work on the same data that you're working on. So we'll start off with inserting hyperlinks. To insert a hyperlink into your data, you simply go onto the cell where you'd want to insert a hyperlink into, right click on it, click on the link option. You would be getting a box like this where you have 3 options on how you can insert stuff or insert hyperlinks into your data. The first one is existing file or web page. So for example, if I'd want to insert the LinkedIn profile of the people who I'm grading in this particular data set, what I would do is I would initially go to the address bar. I would paste the link which I want to insert into my work, and you can either leave the text to display as it is if you want a link to be displayed. However, I want the word LinkedIn profile 01 to be displayed in the cell. So when I do this and click on OK, I should be getting the word LinkedIn profile 01 on this cell, which when I click will open the LinkedIn profile of the person who I want to grade. So this is how you can insert a web page into your data. Let's work on another option. you go back to link, you get the box. Now you have the second option is a place in this document. So for example, I have to make a correction in a particular cell which I'm not really sure about, but I'm going to just mark it anyway so I can come and correct back later. So I am just going to type correction in the text to display, and the cell which I have to make the correction in, it can be B20 for example. So I'm just going to type B20 here, and I'm going to click OK. So now when I click on the word correction, it automatically highlights the cell P20. So that's how you highlight a specific cell in your hyperlink. The third option is where you can insert email addresses in your hyperlinks. So to do this, again, click on the link option, hyperlink option. Here I am going to the text that I want to be displayed is email. No, I'm just going to type test results mail. This is the text I want to display in my cell, and the email address that I want to send this to, I am just going to type ananya.work@gmail.com. So this is the email that I want to send it to, and the subject of the mail would be test results. So when I do this and click OK, I get this link, which when I click will automatically open a mail draft for me. So it already has the person who I want to send the mail to, and it already has the subject of the mail typed out. So this is like a shortcut where you can easily send mails to people who you want to by the click of a cell. This is how inserting hyperlinks works on Excel. So now we're going to see how we can share our workbook with other users so they can edit the data on the workbook at the same time as you. So to do this, you'll need the share workbook option, which is ordinarily not available on the toolbar. So we're going to add it to the toolbar. You can see that the share unshare workbook is not highlighted, which means that the share workbook option is not added to your toolbar. So you go here to your file, click on more, click on options, and you go to the quick access toolbar. Under the quick access toolbar, change the popular commands to all commands and scroll down all the way to till you find the letter S, where you will have this option called share workbook legacy. Add that to your quick access toolbar and click OK. Now you'll see that you have this option right here, which is your share workbook legacy. Share workbook legacy allows your workbook to be shared so others can work on it at the same time. Again, if your workbook has tables, it cannot be shared. That's how share workbook legacy works. So now since this option is added, when you click on it, you get this. Click on use the old shared workbooks feature instead of the new co-authoring experience. You can track your changes here and you click OK. When you click OK, it says this action will now save the workbook. Do you want to continue? Click OK again. Now you'll notice that your workbook has been shared and the unshare workbook option has been highlighted as well. So if you want to unshare your workbook, you can click on that. So now since my workbook is shared and I want to unshare it, I can just click on unshare and my workbook will be unshared. So this is how you share and unshare your workbook. So the two topics that were covered here were on how you can insert hyperlinks into your workbook in three ways. That is, you can insert web pages, you can highlight a cell, and you can insert mail addresses to draft a mail. And share workbook, we saw on how to include it into the quick access toolbar and how to share and unshare your workbook. so that other people can work on the same data as you. So the next few topics will be covered by my team.
Okay, so today we are going to do track changes and how to accept and reject those changes. Now, what is the importance of track changes? Track changes is basically used when two or more people are working on same spreadsheet, and me being one of the editor of the spreadsheet wants to know what changes did the other person do while I was away from the sheets. Okay, now the thing about track changes is that you cannot find this icon already in the ribbon. You have to add it to the ribbon. So to do so, we have to go to review. And as you can see, there's nothing over there, right? Now you have to right click on this review button and you will find customize the ribbon. Click on it and this screen will pop up. You can see there's a drop down named review, which has more other drop downs, which has proving accessibility, etc. You have to right click on this review button and to add new group. Okay, now you can rename this group. I will rename it to track changes. Okay, so the thing is, I have added a custom group to it, but it does not actually work. To make it work, I have to associate a command with it. And to do so, I will go to all commands from here. And when you scroll it down, you see track changes legacy. Add this command to your group. Now this group has a command associated to it, and just do OK. Now you can find track changes over here. Now let's see how this actually works. When you click on track changes and click on highlight changes, there's this checkbox where you check which says that track changes while editing, which means that while editing, you can see what all changes you or the other person is doing. Now you can also change when do you want to see these changes, from whom do you want to see these changes, and where at the spreadsheet you want to see these changes. However, I would keep the settings same. Now we have two options over here, highlight changes on screen and list changes on the new sheet. When you check the highlight changes on screen, the changes can be seen then and there on the screen. And when you click on list changes on new sheet, a new sheet will appear with all the changes there. I will keep the settings same for the time being, and let's see how this function works. Okay, so now let me change this value from 88 to 54. And let me change this value from 71 to, let's say, 94. Now, as you can see, we have these cells are highlighted. If you click on it, it will show who edited it, what time was it edited, what date it was edited, and what was the original value, and what is it changed to. As you can see, it is over here also. This is where we can track the changes. Now, it's up to the user to either accept these changes or reject these changes. For this, you have to click on track changes again, accept and reject changes. Okay, so now this shows which changes, which is not yet reviewed, from whom, from everyone, and where at the spreadsheet. Okay, I will keep the settings the same. Just click on OK. Now it shows me the first change that is made. Who made it? What was the value? And we have this buttons which says either I can accept it, I can reject it, I can accept all the changes at once, I can reject all the changes at once. Now, supposing I want to accept the first change, I would clearly click on accept button. And now we can see this value is the final value of the spreadsheet. Now, let's say I want to reject this change which I made, and I want to keep the value 71 only. I just press reject and this value turns out to be 71. And as you can see now, there is no change. So this cell is not highlighted. And this cell right here, which has changed, as highlighted. This is how you can keep track of your changes. And also more than 2 people or 3 people can work on the same data set with knowing the changes. Thank you.
I'm registration number 70, and I will now illustrate what does function mark as final mean and how to use it. So Excel basically allows us to save our file as final draft, that is marked as done, to discourage any further editing. So to do so, what we have to do is in your Excel file, you have to go to the file, select info, then select protected workbook or protect workbook, and then we have to select mark as final. The file will be saved, and then any further this file will be marked as final, and this will not allow you editing any when you share the file. This will be the final draft. That's it.